There was some big news yesterday that really got all the Razorback fans super excited about what was coming up this upcoming football season and basketball season and baseball season and softball season and soccer season and every season that Arkansas sports offer. And it's Coca-Cola products being brought back. How awesome is that? But there's a deeper discussion that we need to have, and we're bringing back Top Tuesday. And so we're going to talk about the top reasons why Hunter Yurachek just gets it at Arkansas. This is the Locked On Razorbacks podcast.
You are Locked On Razorbacks, your daily podcast on the Arkansas Razorbacks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Razorbacks podcast. I'm your host, John Nabors. I am also the host of Out of Bounds. You can catch every weekday afternoon from 1 to 4 on 103.7 The Buzz and 103.7thebuzz.com. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. And as you heard there in the cold open, as we like to call it in the professional media podcasting business, you heard that I'm bringing Top Tuesday, however you want to call it, back because it's been a while, because there's always been stuff that's been going on Tuesdays that haven't really had a chance to dive into it or haven't had a chance to discuss it. But this was a perfect opportunity to do it, especially since, nothing real crazy is going on right now in Razorback sports. But this one particular topic, which we could bring out into a lot more topics as well. So, yeah, Top Tuesday is back, and I've been wanting to do something like this. It was just a matter of finding the right timing for it, or finding the right reasons for it, or finding the right moment for it. And it actually just worked out perfectly to where this was officially announced yesterday. And, we'll talk about this in a more in-depth analysis and setting and all that. But I wanted to start it by just saying that, Hunter Yurachek is an athletic director at Arkansas that I have literally nothing but the most respect for, the most love for, because of the things that he has done. And he's exactly what Arkansas has needed. Now, you may see, all right, dude, chill. You're not going to marry the guy or anything like that. Well, you know what? Maybe. It's just something that he's really showing all the things that you can be done at Arkansas. And there's a lot of simple things that he's done, and there's a lot of coaching hires that he's made, and it just all the things that are encompassing around it is just been awesome. And I think that right now, if you had to do a polling of the approval rating of Hunter Yurachek at the U of A, it'd have to be dadgum near 100%. Like, I just don't know anybody that would take issue with Hunter Yurachek and the job that he's done so far. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to give you 3 reasons in 3 different segments as to why Hunter Yurachek just gets it here at Arkansas and why he's able to have the success that he's having as the athletic director here at Arkansas. And we'll start with the number 3 reason why: the simple things. Now, when you hear that, you're like, okay, that can mean a lot of different things as far as what could be considered simple. But the one thing that I always got frustrated by in previous administrations especially was the fact that there were so many things I think Razorback fans, by and large, overwhelmingly wanted. And for whatever reason, they didn't get it. Like, it wasn't anything like monstrous or super or crazy or anything like that. It was more just, hey, we really like this. We've always liked this. This is always the way we've done it. It means something to all of us. It would be great if we can just bring it back or keep it the way it is. And previous administration said, no. Well, why not? Because I said. It's like one of those things that when you were a kid and your parents would say that stuff and it just drive you up a wall because you would have a good point about something, and you'd have a good thing that you want to say, is like, and they'd be like, well, no. And you're like, why not? And they say, well, just because I said, or because they don't have a good reason. But they're just saying, well, because I'm an authority and you're just because I said so. It's the same type of concept that what it was in the previous administration. And a few of these examples can be something as simple as this: the court getting named after Nolan Richardson. Like, I mean, that was something I think everyone was on board for, and it was long overdue. But for whatever reason, it took forever to get done. Now, am I saying that previous administrations just said no, and then Hunter Yurachek is the first to say yes? I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that. But what I do know is only one administration got it done, and that was Hunter Yurachek as the athletic director. And again, something that was long overdue and that needed to happen. It was something that I did not understand. And I think a lot of Razorback fans didn't understand. But because of Hunter Yurachek understanding that, hearing and listening to the fans of what they wanted and seeing the absolute positive in it, it got executed and it got done. And it's the same thing where they put little slobber hogs next to Nolan Richardson's name on the court, which, by the way, just watch out, folks, because I'm hearing there may be a bigger slobber hog on the court this next basketball season. We'll see. Just what I'm hearing. But, something like that happening where if you get the slobber hog back on the court, everybody else thinks that's dumb. Is that going to help Arkansas win championships? No, it's not. But at the end of the day, it's something simple that Razorback fans wanted. But, previous administrations always said, well, it's for branding. We want the branding of the logo. Screw that. That doesn't matter. If everyone sees a Razorback, they know who it is. Just because it looks a little bit different and has slobber coming off of its tongue doesn't mean they're going to be like, hey, who is that? That's not the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's some imposter. It must be some other college. No one's going to say that. Then you're going to know it's the Arkansas Razorbacks. So something like that. And, of course, the biggest news coming back, Coca-Cola being the official soft drink beverage, non-alcoholic beverage, everyone put it, of the University of Arkansas for the next 10 years was officially announced yesterday because the contract ends July 1st with Pepsi, and they are moving back to Coke. It goes back to knowing the ins and outs. I know this was a U of A thing, not just like a Jeff Long or athletic department thing. It's a university-wide deal. But when Arkansas went to Pepsi, they went for the money, 100%. Nobody wanted Pepsi. None of the fans wanted Pepsi. None of the students wanted Pepsi. No one wanted Pepsi. They wanted Coke because that's what they had. That's what they like. That's what they wanted. And forever, Hunter Yurachek got hounded when he was hired about becoming, we got to get Coca-Cola back in the stadiums. We got to make this happen. We got to do this. And I'm sure that he was like, I got so much bigger fish to fry than worrying about the type of soda that we're serving. I'm sure that crossed his mind. And I am sure that is something that he got tired of hearing about. But the thing is that he still came out. And again, I don't know as far as the decision goes and everything, maybe we'll have Hunter Yurachek on the podcast to ask more about it. But under his administration, they got it done. They signed a new deal with Coca-Cola. And I'm sure that he had a say in it. I'm sure that he was in the workings in it because let's be honest, the U of A is not the one that put out the statement necessarily. It was the athletic department that put out the statement. That's where everybody heard about it. So they know how big of a draw that was for Razorback fans to make sure that they said, hey, these are the things that we want. These are the things that we've always wanted. And now that we're finally getting it, we're excited to have it back. And those are just some things that just off the top of my head of the simple things. The simple things to where, listen, Razorback fans, they don't ask for much. You may think they do. You may think they're crazy, which they are, but they don't ask for much when it comes to just their enjoyment of games and going to places and going to sporting events and whatnot. There's a few traditions that they like. There's a few things they like to see, whether it's the slobber hog on the court or Nolan Richardson court, something seen like that. Or if they like to drink Coke or Coke Zero or go to the stadium and have a little extra sauce in their pocket to where they can mix it a little bit easier with the Coca-Cola products, whether it's that or whatever it may be. Fans just want those things. And it's nice to have an athletic director that sees that, where it's not going to change the athletic department. It's not going to financially put them out to pasture. It's not going to do any of this stuff. It's just tweaks and things that Razorback fans just want. And you have an athletic director that, as random and as small as it may be considered as far as on the list of things that need to be done and need to be taken care of, Hunter Yurachek still sees the value in listening to the fans when it comes to those things and says, you know what? How's this going to hurt us? This is what the fans want. Let's give it to them. And I think that's something that a lot of Razorback fans can respect. And also his passion for, looking at, the officiating in games and his kind of feeling of how he feels about officiating. He just feels like a fan. He just feels like one of the fans that you can go and hang out with too. It's the simple things for Hunter Yurachek. We'll talk more about keep it going, at least on a Top Tuesday here on the podcast. But first, I got to tell you about Built Bar And I just tell you what, I got it right here. I already ate it, but it was the Built Bar birthday cake puffs. It's incredible, man. Like it's something that, anytime you get done working out or in the mornings, if you need a quick snack or just a quick pick me up, it's there for you. And they taste amazing. I mean, because everyone loves birthday cake. Like if you go to a birthday and especially if it's a kid's birthday and they're cutting up the cake and then they start asking, all right, who wants cake and who wants ice cream? First off, I'm getting both. But I mean, if you have somebody there, it's just like, no, I don't like birthday cake. You probably kick them out of the birthday party and maybe use them as a piñata. I'm just saying. But either way, these things are incredible. You got to try them out, folks. If you go to built.com right now and enter in promo code LOCKED15, you're going to get 15% off your next order of these amazing protein bars. I'm telling you, give it a shot. It tastes great. It's healthy. 17 grams of protein, only 130 calories. You're not going to find anything like that anywhere else. This is the place to do it. So again, go to built.com, use promo code LOCK15 for 15% off your next order.
You are Locked On Razorbacks, your daily podcast on the Arkansas Razorbacks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, continuing on with the top 3 reasons as to why Hunter Yurachek just gets it here at Arkansas. The number 2 reason to me is getting people who want to be here at Arkansas. Now, this may sound a cliche thing because I feel like every school talks about how they want their man to be there and they want their coach to be there forever and because they want them to love and buy into the culture and blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of that. But here at Arkansas, it's particularly important because if you don't have those types of coaches that want to stay here, want to be here, fully invested in here, you're not going to have a successful program. And it's also a place to where you want coaches that recognize the greatness here at Arkansas when it comes to their respective programs. And if you just think about the people that Hunter Yurachek has hired, obviously the Eric Musselman hire is rock star. It's something that where as soon as the job came open, Musselman was contacting Yurachek. He wanted the job. He was calling him up, saying, I want to be here. I want to be at Arkansas. He was so excited when he got the job. And as you can see so far, what's been going on here at Arkansas, I mean, he is just killing it in every regard. And he has kind of revigorated this monster that is Razorback basketball and has made it into another program that can be respected and possibly even compete for a national championship. He wanted it. This is where he wanted to be. He's had opportunities to leave, even being at Arkansas so far, and he hasn't just yet. Never want to say never with any coaches, but this is where he wants to be. College-wise, it doesn't get any better than this for him. He's getting money. He's got a great practice facility. He's got a great arena to play in as well. He's got a great fan base. Everything's going well. Sam Pittman's another one, a guy that maybe not have been the first choice, but who wanted this job so bad. And not just any college football job. He wanted the Razorback job. He wanted an Arkansas job because he loves Arkansas so much. And so much to where after the interview that he got done with Hunter Yurachek, I remember them talking, Sam Pittman's wife talking about this, Jamie, and saying he was just a mess. He was so nervous. He was shaking because he just wanted it so bad. And then when he officially got the job, I mean, how could you not love the guy? Like when he's up there in his press conference, he starts crying because he wanted it. Like that's just awesome. And it shows how much he wanted to be here. And you got coaches that, like somebody like even a Jordan Weaver, where it's like, holy crap, you still hired a gold medalist as your gymnast coach. And, she's done a really good job. And she really loves Arkansas. Now, of course, again, I never want to say never that these people are never going to leave. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just all these coaches that I just brought up, and even the coaches that were here before and have stayed because of the support system and because of some of the stuff that's brought up, whether it's Mike Nabors, whether it's Courtney Deifel, or of course Dave Van Horn, who's been around the longest of any other coach, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's been longer than Buck and Harter, but still, the point is that you have a bunch of coaches here at the U of A that all want to be here, and so many times. You as a Razorback fan, I'm sure you've heard this a lot. you're looked at as a stepping stone of like, okay, well, you're not this school, you're not that school, you're not elite in anything. You're just kind of there. Like people may give you credit for baseball. Oh, you're one of the better baseball jobs, or maybe even basketball. Maybe. Oh, you're one of the better basketball jobs. But if some of these bigger boy jobs open up, those coaches would leave in a heartbeat if they had those opportunities. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. And you have coaches that when you have a culture of coaches, because that's the thing we're talking about, the whole thing. When you have a culture of coaches that are all coming together and have the same mindset to where they understand the greatness that can happen here in Arkansas and here in Fayetteville by simply having facilities, by having an incredible campus to have students come to, a great city to live in, all the support, all the money, all the things that go along with it. When you put all that together, Razorback fans see all the potential, and so do these coaches because they're like, okay, I don't need these other big jobs to be successful. I can be successful right here. Like, I don't have to have, okay, well, this is nice, but I need more. Arkansas is providing everything that they need. And if they don't have it right now, they can get it. They can make it happen. And again, I'm talking about facilities. I'm talking about support systems. I'm talking about coaches. I'm talking about all of that. Arkansas has all the amenities and all the money, all the things that go along with it to be successful in every single sport. Now, will they be successful in every sport? Will they win national championships in every single sport? No, of course not. That's tough to do no matter the sport. But they have everything needed to do that. And coaches recognize that. And Hunter Yurachek has recognized that bringing in coaches that understand that and see that, that's what's going to make them happy, make them successful, and make them want to stay here. And I use this example because I, don't like the guy at all, but like Chad Morris, you could tell from the get-go he didn't want to be here because he didn't even move his family here. He didn't move his family here. That guy didn't want to be here. He was going to move on to some other job whenever the time came, right? There was other coaches too. It just, and previously, I don't want to start naming names, but you could just tell it's like, okay, well, if there was a better job that opened up, they'd leave, or they didn't really buy in, or they didn't really care about Arkansas or about the Razorbacks or about anything like that. You just kind of got that feeling. But because Yurachek says and has said every single time, we don't play games when it comes to hiring coaches. We don't do this whole like back and forth negotiating with another school and doing a bidding war. We don't do that. What we do here is we go out and we find people that want to be here. I'm not trying to play games. I want you to be here. And if you want to be here, we'll make it happen. But I don't want to hear you say you want to be here and then another school in the bidding process when we're trying to hire you gives you another $200,000 and you said, hey, I'm going to take this job unless you offer me more. No. See ya. We're not doing that. And so the fact that you've created that culture of coaches and that culture of an athletic department to where everybody's all in, wanting to be here, wanting to have it go on and wanting to be a part of it, that's something that is hard to come by. And I think it's a great culture that Hunter Yurachek has built. And it's definitely why he's having so much success and why the athletic department in general is still, in my opinion, the best athletic department right now in Power 5 sports. And I'd be hard-pressed to find another one that's in better shape. We'll get to the final reason of why Hunter Yurachek just gets it here at Arkansas in just a second. But first, our partners at BetOnline.net continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info, from all the latest odds and news and sports developments, including this year's basketball playoffs, Major League Baseball scores, fights, and even next season's NFL futures. BetOnline is your continued source for all the sporting wagering information, from live betting to playoffs to esports and to so much more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions at betonline.net, where the game starts.
You are Locked On Razorbacks, your daily podcast on the Arkansas Razorbacks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, so the final reason why Hunter Yurachek just gets it here at Arkansas. Now, there's a lot of different things that could go under this umbrella of this topic that I bring up, or at least this point that I bring up. So I'll try to condense it into as much as I possibly can. But the one thing that I have said so many times and why I felt like the athletic director position at Arkansas is the best in the country is because it has greatness in it. And that's cliche to say, but when it comes to all the things that you need to be successful as an athletic department, it has it all from top to bottom, more so than anybody else. And let me explain why. You got to see the greatness in Razorback sports, see the greatness that can come along with it. And Hunter Yurachek, when he took this job, I guarantee you he took this job knowing that this was a gold mine of success. Because not only do you have so much money, like stupid money up in Northwest Arkansas, where you have some of the biggest boosters, some of the biggest contributors. You got, of course, Walmart and JB Hunt and Tyson and all those things. You got so many other companies around the state. You have a guy named Jerry Jones who's always been very charitable with his money down in Dallas and always be a huge Razorback fan. Like all this stuff, you have it all going for you. So money has never been a problem. You don't have to compete with any other major team in the state, any other major school in the state. You get from all four corners the most support and the most money by far, not even close, not even a question. And you have facilities, you have a campus that is amazing. It's something where fans are passionate. Fans will show out, especially when there's a fantastic product on the field. I mean, just pick your poison there. There's so many great things about Arkansas that could make this athletic department one of the best, if not the best in the country. You can win national championships in many different sports here on campus. Like everything is set up for that. Everything. But the thing is that there have been people that don't see that. They don't see it that way. There were so many times where excuses were made and excuses were brought up as to why you can't be successful or why you can't do this or, but look at our grades. Look how great the grades are. You're not seeing success on the field. Hey, we'd all love to see success, but look at our GPA of our student athletes. And look over here. It's like a misdirection, which has always failed, but it was always that thing where it seemed like things that were portrayed to fans to say, you need to care about this more. Forget winning, forget success. This is what you really need to care about. We're having fun here. Everyone's nice. They're smiling at each other. We're doing a good job in the classroom. No kids have gotten arrested and they're staying out of trouble. It's great. No one cares about that. Fans do not care. No offense about GPA. No one. I don't care if a kid has a 2.5 or a 4.0. Is he eligible? Can he play? Can he help my team win? Great. That's what I care about. And that's what fans care about. People don't care about anything else. And so when that was always kind of used as a misdirection and trying to put emphasis on the stuff that didn't matter, and then not ever doing the things that the fans wanted to do, having such a disconnect from the fans, thinking you were over here and you're so much better than everybody else and you knew so much more and you were taking more and more away as far as traditions and as far as things that Razorback fans liked and forcing in your own stuff because, this is what the analytics say. Let's take away this logo. Let's put in this stupid logo that nobody likes. Well, the analytics say this, all of those things. It's just like, stop. This is not a difficult place to figure out. This is not a place where you have to go into deep dives into science, into, research and development to try to figure out what it does and how what it does to make this place successful and how it ticks, how it moves forward, how it's successful. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. When you overthink it because you're trying to put your own footprint on it, that's when problems arise. But instead of you trying to put your footprint on the program to make it your own, maybe you should reverse it and say, here's what the program is. Here's what makes it great. I'm going to push that and elevate that up to make it to where it can be the best it can be. Not me trying to make it what I want, but make it what it is, even better. That's what Arkansas is all about. And that's what Hunter Yurachek has recognized. There's nothing about stuff that goes on with Arkansas that makes it such a difficult thing to where they hate everything. They think everything's dumb. They think everything's stupid. They think everything is, lame unless it's just, the way it's always been. Like there's probably some people like that, but you can put in your own little changes here. You can try new things here and there. But when it comes down to just the simple things of, just making fans happy and winning, like it's easy to do. Just win and make them happy by doing some of the small things, as we talked about earlier in the podcast, that'll, keep them along, keep them with money, keep them from complaining and moaning and bitching about everything. Like, it's as simple as that. So Yurachek gets that, and he sees the greatness in all of it. And when you're putting it all together and you're just trying to make it into an athletic department that it's capable of, there's a lot of crap you have to deal with. 100%. There's a lot of people that you have to answer to. 100%. But when you have a guy at the helm that is a bull in his own way, like going to get what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, and sees his vision, while also encompassing that vision with what the Razorback fans and what everybody at the U of A wants in their vision as well, that's when you get the great product that you're seeing now. Now, this may have been just one of the best political ads for Hunter Yurachek in the history of all political ads, and that's fine. And, some people may in the comment section be like, dude, you're over the top. You're a little ridiculous. That's fine too. But at the end of the day, you can't sit there and tell me as a Razorback fan that there has been a better time to be a Razorback fan in all sports than right now. I won't believe it. Like some people say when he won the national championship in basketball, okay, of course. But baseball wasn't a factor. Football was meh. Like, every sport right now is doing great and on the up and up and just so enjoyable. All the sports. You're competitive in all the sports. You're not a laughingstock in any sport at all. You're getting it done. Enjoy it, Razorback fans. Enjoy it all. And be thankful that you have someone like Hunter Yurachek as your athletic director, because we've seen alternatives. And the alternatives definitely have not been what we have wanted or know or what Arkansas should have ever at the U of A. But this is the best job for an athletic director in the country. Hunter Yurachek understands that, and he's also executing an entirely great game plan to make this program successful. Thanks, Hunter Yurachek. I appreciate you making my job so much easier and talking about Razorback sports being so successful so I don't have to hear it from other SEC fan bases of how terrible we are. So thank you for that, at least. Appreciate everybody listening into the Locked On Razorbacks podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or on Google Play. You can also get after me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNabors for any questions, comments, concerns that you may have. We'll keep it going from there. Same podcast time, same podcast channel tomorrow afternoon. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you then.